Hey guys, what's up? So this is the second video that I'm making for Pete at GCI Turf. Pete, if you're watching, I love your stuff. I watch you every morning, man. Keep doing what you're doing. But I said that I made the comment on one of your videos, and I said, hey, I got a better version of your spray rig that you had featured in that video a couple weeks ago, and I've been meaning to show you this. I said I would make a video, and here we are. So there's actually a lot to talk about this thing, and I hope not to get sidetracked. I'm going to try to make it a quick video, maybe 10 minutes or less, to try to go over everything and why this thing kicks butt and why I built it and so on and so forth. But I guess we'll just dive right into it. So this is a powered dump cart is what it is. So minus the spray rig, which you can take out. This is just a powered, made by DR dump cart. So you got a gear selector, 4 different gears, forward, reverse, electric dump and all that, and it's a dump cart. So it's like the premium version, whatever you want to call that. It's the heavier duty version, but that's what it started as. And to tell you the truth, we don't really use it for a dump cart anymore. I basically use this primarily for spraying only. But all this is, we built all this. We pieced this together from nothing. Everything on the spray, as far as the spray, the tank, the frame, the nozzles, all the hose, valves, pumps, everything we pieced together and built it ourselves. We did that because the stuff on the market just isn't heavy duty enough. And if it is industrial enough, heavy duty enough, with the right spray pattern, the right gallons per minute, the stuff, the machine you want to use to get the job done quickly, it's reliable, it's not going to let you down, and just kicks ass for doing massive yards, lawn applications on big square footage, not your walk behind, you know, spreader type, like baseball fields and larger kind of deal. We had to build it. Those machines, if you wanted to buy one, I mean, it's astronomical. It doesn't even make sense to buy one. They're way too expensive. So with my ability, my fabrication skills, and my ingenuity, ended up building one. So I'm going to show you a little about it. I guess we'll start at the front. So in its current configuration, the spray arms are folded up, and I'm going to try to do this one-handed. They fold up so we can get it on the trailer. But when they're folded down, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 nozzles, and it sprays about a 11-foot wide pattern, spray pattern. So you can make 11-foot wide passes with it. These are actual agricultural nozzles off an agricultural sprayer. This isn't the stuff that you would buy. Your typical sprayer is not going to have this. Even your high-end spray rigs are not going to have these nozzles. These are farm equipment nozzles pretty much, but they're made by T-Jet, and they're diaphragm nozzles, so they don't drip. You turn the switch off, they won't drip. No dripping. It's on, off, nothing in between, no drips. That's because they got diaphragm inside them. But let's see, I guess that's the boom. I'm not very good at these videos, man, but I'm trying to show you kind of how cool this is and why it is what it is. But it's a 25-gallon tank, and the frame was just built to hold the tank and set inside the dump cart there, and you fill it up right here at the top. You can drain it out this plug right here. And how you do that is you actually just tilt this up, the whole shittery, you just tilt it up and it'll drain right out on the ground. So if you're switching chemicals or need to rinse it out or winterize the unit, you can do that very easily. I guess we'll go on to kind of the reason why this is the way it is. So typical sprayers, they use a small engine, something like this. This is like a 5 or 6 horse Briggs & Stratton engine. It's got the battery on it. Although if you try to use this battery to run a spray rig, you're gonna run out of battery in like 10 minutes. and your machine's going to be dead, so you just need more reserve in the battery. So you got to run a bigger battery. That's where this comes in. This is just a standard car battery. This is actually an old deep cycle battery out of my boat, but that'll run this pump all day long, which is fine. I just keep the battery on a trickle charger, and then I'll throw it on the machine when I want to use it for the day. The pump itself is mounted here on top, and it's got a cover just to keep it keep the weather off of it. Basically, this thing sits outside all year long, so keep the rain and stuff off of it. But this is a 60 psi 5.5 gallon per minute pump. This is all 1/2 inch hose. There's a pickup inside, comes through over here to, this is obviously we have a gauge that we can see from the old driver's position here. And let me just kick this on real quick so I can see my pressure, and I can adjust my pressure right here. I can turn the pressure up, I can turn it down. Typically what I found is about 30 psi is what I want to run with these nozzles, because any higher pressure than that, there's too much like overspray, like wind drift, spray drift, you know. But with 30 psi you get a nice solid big droplet. I'll just show you. I can isolate this too, so if I'm using the booms, the spray nozzles, I open that valve, and then as soon as I flip this switch right here, she turns on. So any higher psi than that, it will have too much pressure, and it will spray things you don't want sprayed. Yeah, that and the application rate. I drive this thing in second gear, so in second gear, wide open throttle, I can walk. It's like a 3 mile an hour probably walking speed. I get perfect passes in the lawn with that. But the only way to run these, so you know, if you want to run 5 of these nozzles, this particular setup, the only way to do that is with a good pump. The only way to do a good pump is to have a lot of power, so you need a big battery. So when I said, hey, I got a better version, I'll tell you why. That's the reason why. Smaller machines, they got the little chintzy lines, maybe it's 3/8 line, couple nozzles, and they got a little tiny battery, and it's just not going to happen. You just cannot get the volume through the machine that you need to actually get some work done. Also, this regulator is a return style regulator, so it will return all the pressure left over back in to the tank, and it recirculates it in here. So when the pump is running, it's mixing the fluid in the tank while it's running. Even with nothing on, when the pump is on, it's circulating water inside, or your chemical, it's agitating everything in the tank. You'll notice there's a lot of hose on here. So here's a nozzle. This is a nice industrial with a good tip spray nozzle. So let me show you this. What I do to use the nozzle is I'll cut the boom, so we're not using the boom, and I'll go around, I'll do the perimeter of the lawn first. Anything that I'm spraying, I'll go do the perimeter. I'll do all the corners, I'll do weird spots, places that I can't get this machine into. I'll use this. I got about 25 feet of hose wrapped around there, so I can just park the machine, uncoil the hose, and I'm off to the races with my wand. But turn the machine on, she's running. Oops. I was messing with the pressure, she's a little bit too high. Like I said, about 30 psi. But this is the difference between the small spray rigs and an actual real pump with real power spray rig. Is this wand right here. So I can spray probably about 30 feet with this thing, and that's a lot. Sorry, I'm messing with this. To put it in perspective, here's like a 6x6 area. Yeah, so that's something you just cannot do with the other sprayers. But like I said, I can operate this. I put it in second gear. I go full throttle if I want. I steer the machine with one hand. Got this in the other hand. I run around, doing all my edges. And then I come back, I open the booms up. I got 25 gallons of product, and I'm off to the races. So I'm trying to think of anything else that's cool about this. Nah, so this skid thing is removable. I touched on the battery. The battery, like I said, it's got to be a big battery. If these little spray rigs, that's the dead giveaway, is the spray rigs. Like a ride-on sprayer, if it's got a small battery, it's got a small pump, and if it's got a small pump, it ain't got the nozzles, and it doesn't have the volume flowing through it to actually do a lot of work. So they're cool and everything, but when it comes down to business and you want to get stuff done, get back home to your family, bang it out, make the money, you just got to have the real stuff, and that's what we got going on here. It's a little rudimentary with the battery sitting here, but I tell you, it is a necessity. So I just pull that off, throw it in the shed, trickle charger. When I do a spray job, usually I'll do multiple spray jobs in one day. I'll load this up, battery's ready to go, take it off the charger, connect a little wire, and boom, we're done. Off to the races. It's also got a particulate filter here. So I can unscrew this, I can drain it, but I can unscrew this, and there's a stainless steel, like 20 micron filter in here. There's also a screen on the pickup inside. So that's one thing about these nozzles, is it sucks when they get clogged up. So we try to prevent that from happening at all costs. And our biggest savior is that filter right there. So anything that gets in the tank, if it makes its way past the screen for the pickup, it will get caught in that filter there. That's it. She's pretty cool. Oh yeah, one last thing is, so I can, there's a valve right here. So if I turn this valve, I can cut I can cut three nozzles off of this, because your line's coming here. If I turn this and close this off, I only have two nozzles running. So if I'm doing a narrow pathway, or if I'm spraying like a Roundup type product with like glyphosate or something, and I'm doing a narrow pathway, I have the option of cutting half the sprayers or more, and only using two nozzles. Of course, I can go in, I can adjust my pressure right there, and so I can get the right spray pattern for only using 2 versus 5. But yeah, the math on it, with these nozzles, you have to figure out how many gallons a minute they run. They like a specific pressure with a specific gallon per minute. The nozzles are like scientifically designed. They're engineered to run at a certain gallons per minute and a certain pressure. And if you go outside that, they don't perform. So you got to stay within that. So you got to do the math on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Figure out your pressure needed for the system and your flow rate, your gallons a minute, and get the appropriate size pump, the appropriate sized pressure regulator that's adjustable with the gauge, and your appropriately sized filter, and your appropriately sized hose. Like I said, this is 1/2-inch hose, and if it was a 3/8 hose, it wouldn't have the flow rate, and these nozzles wouldn't perform, because what's required for this system is bigger hose. So this is all 1/2-inch. That's it, man. I'm happy that I could show it to you. And just like the grader that I built and this, I wish I could show it in action, but like I said, I'm like a solo guy, and when we're out working, we're hauling butt, man. I got no time to make videos. We're just making money. That's what we do. So You can tell though. But anyways, Pete, love you, and hope this helps. Hope you get a kick out of it, and see you later.